Welcome to week 10 plays for review, New Mexico High School football officials. I'm Victor Sanchez. We have 5 plays we want to go over today, all of them involving either mechanics or where we're looking and just making sure that we are in the right position and we're looking in the right places so we can get fouls and make sure that we're cleaning up dead ball officiating. Our first play today is going to involve a hit on a receiver with a catch down the field. We're going to let this play run through. We're going to see that offense is taking their time to get set up. And then once they do, I'll let it roll. We're going to have a pass down the field, and we're going to get a hit by the safety on number 13. And we don't have a flag on film, but a flag was thrown late on this play for targeting. Now, what we want to talk about on this play is who's in best position to judge targeting, and if someone does have a flag, how do we discuss whether or not this is or is not a foul? So let's first look at the action as it happens, and then let's break this down. Got a catch, and then we got a hit. It's a hard hit, but it looks as if from the video that we're getting a hit to the shoulder, and we're not getting a hit with the crown of the helmet or the top of the helmet. So it looks like we have what's considered a legal hit. Back judge, you are in a great position to see this play happen. And I don't see a flag come out. I see a reach, which means you're processing and thinking about it. But no flag, you clear the play, call it incomplete. So good judgment there. Now, if the flag comes from our line judge down here, which looks like he's reaching to throw a foul, right now, we just got to have awareness of what we see and what we can see. From his angle, it may look like there was a crown foul, and so if you throw the flag, okay, fine, but now we have to have a discussion between you and the back judge, because the back judge has a great look at this. And so if you're down for targeting on this, back judge, we would expect you to call him off of this play and make sure that we do not leave this flag down on the ground, because this is a legal hit. Umpire, you're too late to the party. You can't see what happens. You're going to get there late, so we don't expect the flag from you. The only other person would be our head linesman at the top that would have some kind of look at this, but he's probably got some players between him and the action happening. So anything from that side of the field would probably be a guess. So what we want to do on this play is we want to make sure that we have a conversation about the details, and that's really what's important, is the details of what we see that rises to the level of foul or would take somebody off a foul. And if we look, again, we're going to see this play one more time. We're going to have, I'm going to slow it down. We're going to have contact by the defender. The contact is at the shoulder. And if you look right here, we can see the player's face. The player's face is up. He's not leading with the helmet. He's contacting the receiver in the shoulder. And so we need to see those details, especially if we're going to throw a flag from this direction. You need to be able to see those details and be 100% sure that you have a crown foul. Back judge, you see the whole play, beginning, middle, and end. You should be talking this official off this flag, and we should pick this flag up. Play 2 is going to be an inadvertent whistle play. Now, we all know inadvertent whistles really should be eliminated by being patient. So let's talk first about how we end up having inadvertent whistles. We have inadvertent whistles because we officiate games with whistles in our mouths. Pre-snap line of scrimmage officials, by all means, have a whistle near your mouth. I wouldn't recommend having the whistle in your mouth, but have it near your mouth. Once play is live, get the whistle away from your mouth. It should take you a count or two to get the whistle to your mouth and make sure that the play is actually dead before you blow a whistle. So what we're looking at here is we're going to have a kickoff that is caught right about the 3-yard line. Returner is going to come up the field. We're going to see him get hit, and then the ball comes loose. And without sound, we're assuming that this inadvertent whistle came at that first contact. So we need to be very, very sure that we see the ball before we blow our whistle. And obviously we didn't, because the whistle was blown and we have a fumble. Now the problem on this play occurs when we replay the entire kick. So if you go back to your rule book and we look at rule 423, Downs are only replayed if an inadvertent whistle occurs during a kick. Now, this kick ended when this receiver caught the ball. So any inadvertent whistle that occurs now is on a running play, and we need to let them have the result of the play. There's no replay on this particular situation. So make sure that we talk about this in our pre-games about how we administer inadvertent whistles, but let's avoid inadvertent whistles by keeping the whistle out of your mouth until you see the ball and you know the ball is dead. Too many times and at all levels, we see officials with whistles in their mouths during live ball play, and all it takes is a minute of lack of concentration and we get an inadvertent whistle, and now we have problems on the field. So get those whistles away from your mouth. Make sure you see the ball before you mark it dead, and review this rule on how to administer inadvertent whistles on kicks, passes, and run plays. Play 3 this week is going to have a valid fair catch signal on a punt, and then we're going to have a return. And so we need to make sure that we understand when we have a signal, once that ball is recovered by the return team, that ball is dead at the spot of recovery. So let the play roll through, and we're going to see that it's going to get returned for a touchdown. There's going to be some blindside blocks. A whole mess happens on this when we really should never have had a play in the first place. So let's go ahead and back this one up all the way to the beginning. We're going to have our punt. Ball is kicked. We can see our player right here at the 50-yard line. He is signaling for a fair catch. Now, back judge, I understand you may be looking at the returner over here. So we need to have a conversation, or you need to be able to have both of these players in your vision to see this fair catch signal. If not, head linesman, you are in the next best position. Since you are furthest away, you have the widest view to see this fair catch signal being made. So the ball hits the ground. We have an illegal touching or a first touching by number 25, and then the ball is picked up right there by the return team, right around the 30, 31-yard line. Back judge, this play is dead. You had a valid fair catch signal. Ball is recovered by the return team. So they have two options. They can take the ball at the spot of recovery, or they can take the ball at the spot of first touching. Either one of those are legal options at this point. Instead, we failed to kill the play because we did not recognize the fair catch signal, and now we have a return for a touchdown that should never have been allowed. So make sure that we are covering two returners on a play. Make sure that we understand who can help with valid and invalid fair catch signals. And then please, 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 once this ball is recovered by the return team, you got to shut it down. Valid and invalid fair catch signals shut plays down immediately. In this particular case, you have a spot of first touching and you have the end of the kick, the two spots that the kicking team can choose to take the ball at. Obviously, they're going to take it at the spot of first touching, which is more advantageous. Our next play this week involves a late unnecessary hit on a defenseless player. We're going to have a long run down the near sideline. He's going to break it to the outside, and he's going to head up the sideline. And we want to follow this player identified here. Want to watch his action. And we want to make sure that our head linesman on this side of the field and our referee on this type of play, your duty is to sweep up action behind the play. Our back judge is working a block ahead, which should be this block here. Our line judge should be working that block as well as the sideline going up the field. So if we're looking in the right places, we should be able to catch this foul by this player, but we miss it completely. We see the runner go up the field, and then we see the cheap shot right there about the 16-yard line on the defenseless player. If you missed it, I'm going to play it for you again. Put it in slow motion. You're going to see it right there about the 26-yard line. Boom. Oh, it's actually the 16-yard line. Right here, he puts this player down. So we want to make sure that we are dead ball officiating and cleaning up the backside of the play when we're off the action. We missed this foul. This is a clear, unnecessary hit on a defenseless player. We want to make sure that we get these fouls. This has no place in our game. The block had no bearing on whether the runner would score or not score. It's just an attempt to punish another player. So we got to make sure that we're dead ball officiating and we are sweeping behind the play to catch these fouls. Our last play this week is going to involve another late hit against a defenseless player. Want to take a look at number 11, who's going to be highlighted here on this play. We can follow him through the play and you can see his action. We're going to get a hit against a defenseless player, totally unnecessary, and we do not get a flag for this on this play. You can see that action there. I'll rewind it and let you look at it one more time. We're going to follow number 11, who's highlighted. You can see him right there. He's going to come across, reading the play. Ball breaks up the sideline, and then he just takes a cheap shot on the team in black in the back, and we don't get a flag for this. So part of what we need to do on these plays, again, is dead ball officiating and making sure that we're keeping some wide vision. I'm going to pause it right here. Right here, as this play is going out of bounds, our head linesman seems to be in really good position. He has good space between him and the play, but then he's going to lose that because he hurries up to get the spot. So, okay, we got the spot. We're looking at the players out of bounds. But back judge, I want to ask you, where are you looking? Back judge must be looking at the ball because he misses this play, which should be something he is looking right at. So back judges, when you have plays to the sideline, you're not worried about so much what's happening at the sideline. You got to look to the inside for these types of actions. Line judge, again, where are you looking? You have clear unobstructed view across the field. Now, you may think throwing this foul across the field is a long way to go, but anything that is non-football related, we have to get. So if you see this, you got to flag that. Umpire, you have a good look at this as well. Referee, I don't know that you can see it because you had so many players in between you and where this happens, but we have to be able to get these fouls. We can get kids hurt. We're going to get players injured. And it's just not a good look for our game to have these kind of cheap shots happening on football plays. This is the last week of the season, of the regular season. Some playoffs have already begun for 6- and 8-man football and maybe the smaller classifications. So if you are working this week, use these films to kind of go through your pregame and work on coverage and understanding some rules. Go through the plays that we've sent out, the playlist that we've sent out over the weeks, and make sure that you review some of those. If you are working this week, it is the last week of the regular season. Make sure you go out and have a good game and travel safe. Weather may be an issue for some of you, so travel safely and get there. Leave with plenty of time, so that way if you encounter any weather, you're not too late for your games. You can have a good pregame. And we'll be back next week with the first week of playoffs. We will continue our plays for review as we head into playoffs. And good luck to you this week.